really.
It doesn't look grainy?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really... Yeah, I can see it now. It's really grainy.
Yeah, it's a little grainy. All right, well, we're trying my new laptop. I don't know. I'm not sold on it.
What, your new laptop? Apparently you sold
Yeah,
one
because
and
I
you
bought
own
it. Yeah, I bought it.
Yeah. Yeah, you were sold a couple of weeks ago when you gave me your credit card number,
Yeah.
buddy.
These MacBooks aren't cheap either. They're expensive.
Well, what can I tell you?
Okay, we're back.
And?
I'm actually physically back.
Yes, they can see that.
Yeah. And I got a haircut.
Yeah, that they can't see.
No one can tell, but I promise I got a haircut.
Yeah, well, you know what he took off?
Not much.
Your backwards baseball cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wearing that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. So title of today's video has something to do with, I think I'm going to use kind of like a bit of a clickbaity title. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh.
It'll be something like, here's how to get the actual price from a dealer. Something like that.
Okay, Mr. Clickbaity.
So what we want to talk about today is the out-the-door price. This whole concept of OTD, or on the road, right?
Okay, yes.
So Dad,
Yes.
can you just kind of explain to us, what is out-the-door pricing? What does it mean? And when I say actual, like, what does that mean?
Well, the out-the-door price is the agreed-upon selling price plus all fees. Applicable state fees. I hate when I can't say applicable.
That was like, you sounded like a sheep.
I felt sheepish the way it came out. So that includes all the applicable fees, title, registration, doc fee that nobody wants to pay, but everybody does pay, tire tax, electronic filing fees, lien fees. So it's the total that you would have to stroke a check for if you were actually writing a check for the car.
So
that's the out the door.
So one of the things that we recently worked on together was creating like a little calculator. So I'll link to it. It'll be right down in the description.
Okay.
It's an out-the-door pricing calculator. So the idea is you put in a selling price in your state, and then you get the actual, or an estimate.
You get the estimated.
Yeah.
The actual is, well, that's just too hard.
It's too hard, but it's also, the reality is when you see those internet prices, like when you go on, I always reference Car Gurus or Auto Trader, that's not the actual price that you're going to pay. It could be 5% more, it could be 10% more.
Well, it's going to be probably a minimum of 6%.
In most states.
Well, yeah, in most states except Delaware, where they don't have a sales tax on it.
And Montana and
Like I
Oregon.
said, it's going to be something more than what the price is, but less than whatever.
No, but the out-the-door price is the actual amount that you would have to stroke a check for in order to get home.
I think we said that about 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess this is one of our shortest videos ever then.
No. So I thought you wanted me to get involved in accessories and things like that. Isn't that what you said to me before? Before we got on the air?
I was hoping that you would explain, how dealers get to out-the-door prices, the differences between states and things like that. I was hoping you'd talk about some of those, but if you're not interested, that's okay.
I never said I wasn't interested.
You seem disinterested.
Oh my God.
I'll just read your body language, man. You seem like you're ready for like lunch or something. Well, you already had lunch.
I ate lunch before you got here.
All right, so share your wisdom.
What wisdom? I mean, if you decide you want some accessories, it's going to add to the out the door number.
So explain then, when you see the internet price, and when people contact us and they say, "Hey, I see the internet price is $48,000. I'm thinking of offering $46,000." Why that makes no sense?
Well, is it a new car or a used car?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's still going to be
it
fees.
does.
But there's still fees on both of them.
Well, yeah, there are, but like if it's
It's a new car. It's a new car.
So if it's a new car, and we know that in order to get to that $48,000 price that they're advertising, that they're including incentives that you probably don't qualify for, then the price is actually going to go up before you start adding fees. So yeah, you could offer 46. They're not going to take 46 because hell, they weren't going to take 48.
Yeah,
because you didn't qualify. You weren't retired or active military, or you weren't a first responder, or you weren't a recent college graduate, or you weren't recently appointed dean of a prestigious college that they might have a rebate for that you don't qualify for. I mean, there's just any number of rebates that they have in that price that you don't qualify for. And typically the price doesn't include the transportation that it took to get the car to the dealership.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of components that are missing.
Yeah.
Not to mention
the fees that get added once you do agree to a selling price, and those fees are state sales taxes, your electronic filing fees for title and registration, a lien fee if it's a lease or a finance, because the bank needs to make sure that they're listed as the lien holder on the title, and there's a fee for that, and there's the fee for the tire tax. And
the dock fee.
And the dock fee, which in some states is capped, like California, it's capped at $85. In other states, it doesn't seem to be capped.
I mean, in Florida, I've seen dock fees over $1,000.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So let's actually use that as a hypothetical, if you don't
Yes.
mind for a second. Let's say you live in Georgia.
Yes.
And you've got a car that you could buy in Florida or a car you could buy in Georgia. Now, a
Yes.
dealer in Florida, as you've taught me, can run a deal as if it's a Georgia deal. So the
They
Georgia,
can.
the Georgia state taxes, the
Yes.
Georgia registration, the
Yes.
Georgia title.
Yes.
The one thing though that the Florida dealership will do that's different than the Georgia dealership is they'll still charge that $1,000 dock fee.
They're going to charge you their dock fee.
Yeah.
Now, if their dock fee is $1,000 and the dock fee in Georgia is normally $300, well, guess what they could do? They could make their selling price $700 less than the Georgia dealer, and yet the out-the-door number is still going to end up being the same.
And that's the big point that I was hoping, and thank you for getting there, is that you see...
It's all in the skill of the interviewer.
Yeah. Yeah, feel free to link below to some training for interviewing.
Yeah, you have to string me along. You have to move me in the direction where you want me to go.
Yeah.
It's all about one of the skills that we would teach salespeople, which is active listening skills. Which is
what'd you say?
Exactly, active listening skills, where you ask the customer a question, the customer responds, and to show that you're actively listening, you rephrase or restate what it is that the customer just said to you, so that they understand that you were actually actively listening to their part of the conversation. And by you actively listening, then you can steer me in the direction that you want me to go, because you're the interviewer and I'm the interviewee. There you have it.
That was beautiful, and I could restate all that, but I won't, because the point I want to make, and I want to get your confirmation on,
yes,
are those kind of bordering state opportunities that customers sometimes have. And I guess what this really speaks to is I hear from a lot of people, and I do it myself, you're searching for a car on one of those websites, and you set the search radius to 500 miles or nationwide, and you see, okay, well, the great deal is some ridiculously low price. But the reality is that once you factor in all these OTD fees, all the out-the-door fees, a car on there that might be listed as a fair deal or a bad deal could actually end up being the same out-the-door number, because of a difference in dock fees, because of a difference in accessories that have been added on, because of a variety of reasons. And not all the fees are dealership-oriented. Some of them are for your state.
Most of the extra fees are state fees, which you can't negotiate.
But I do have a question. Do some dealers mark up the title and registration,
no,
but not the actual title and registration cost, but doing that on behalf of the customer? Do they mark that up?
No, because they have to pay the state what the fee is.
Yeah. So they don't. Yeah.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
No, but I was wondering if in addition to the dock fee, there's a processing fee or something.
No,
like that.
If you use an outside vendor that helps you with out of state registrations and they charge for that, then the dealer is going to pass that charge on to you.
Gotcha.
But they don't mark it up.
Yeah.
They just pass the charge on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, the dealer has accepted whatever the profit's going to be in whatever the selling price is, plus their dock fee. So they know what their profit is. They're not looking to make profit on state fees. They can't.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, just checking.
Well, I guess they could.
That's what I was thinking.
But I've never worked for any that did.
Although there's probably some out there that.
Well,
yeah.
God knows there's about 17,000 dealerships. I've only worked in about 10 or 12, so
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do between now and the end of this.
Yeah. Maybe you could like consult or something. Anyway, and so one other question I have about the out the door price, Dad, is when you would negotiate car deals for people, you would focus on the out the door price, right? Like that was your number that you were focusing on. You're not
absolutely.
Yeah, you're not negotiating on any other number except for.
No, I want to know. I when I would negotiate.
So the new laptop I got, it like
sucks.
Stopped. Yeah, it really does.
Sucks.
This looks really
it looks grainy and it just froze. You know, those Apple products aren't quite what they're made out to be. Oh, so anyway,
and that's the outro.
and so what I was saying is, when you negotiate the out the door price, you want to get a breakdown of what all the fees are, so that when you're comparing it to other dealers, you can match up all the fees. And even if somebody has a higher dock fee, if the total out the door price is less, then that means that they're selling the selling price of the car is less. But yes, you always want to get a breakdown of what each fee is, and how they got to that total out the door number that you would have to stroke a check for if you were paying cash and paying by check. That's how I would always negotiate a deal on behalf of the client, because I wanted to be able to share that information with them.
Yeah, and it makes the most sense. And final question I've got on the OTD price would be the basis for the sales tax. And what I mean there is, I know from some experience there's like taxable versus non-taxable incentives. In some states, your trade-in can affect your sales tax.
Absolutely.
So I guess when you're comparing two deals and you're comparing the out-the-door numbers, you need to also bear in mind the things that are affecting your sales tax basis.
Rebates are taxable. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they weren't always, but they are, because states realized that, well, it wasn't really a discount. It was cash that was given by the manufacturer to help lower the price. So that said to the state, well, that should be taxable. And so they started taxing it. So other states, you get a tax credit for the trade-in. In California, you do not. You can trade your car. It doesn't matter. They don't care that you already paid tax on your trade. You're paying anyway. You're paying again.
Yeah.
But in most states, since you've already paid tax on your trade, they subtract that from the amount that's going to be taxable. So yeah, depending on the state, it can impact the total out the door number.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Dad, for sharing some thoughts and some wisdom there. And as a reminder, we created that little widget. It's free, simple. You just
have I ever mentioned how much I love widgets?
Yeah.
You know, when I first business class I ever took, we discussed the importance of widgets.
Did you ever take a business class?
Maybe. Doesn't it show?
Didn't you?
Don't answer that question.
You went to advertising school, didn't you?
I did that as well, yes. I went to the Charles Morris Price School of Advertising and Journalism, sponsored by the Poor Richards Club of Philadelphia. It is the school with the world's longest name. It no longer exists, but that's besides the point. I was a graduate.
Were you really?
Yeah. It was a one-year school.
Oh, so it wasn't like an undergrad program?
No, it was a one-year school, and we took 26 courses in 1 year, and they were taught by people that actually worked in the field.
That's kind of
so
neat.
If you took a course on public relations, it was taught by somebody who actually had his own public relations firm. Ralph Bernstein was an AP sports writer. He handled one of our journalism classes.
Wow.
And literally you went to school every day from like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. You took 13 classes each semester.
You never told me or Dara this. Dara's my sister.
Dara's his sister. I remember we had to, one of the class assignments was to do an advertisement for a funeral home. And we did it as a group. And the slogan was, we're the last ones to let you down. It was classic.
I feel like you're like sliding out. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, there you have
wrap.
it, folks.
Yeah, we good?
Yeah, I think we're done. I think with the last ones to let you down, that pretty much sums it all up.
You're auto advocate.